Ladies and gentlemen, I am Sid Alpha. I find myself in a position of once again being forced to bypass both my Patreon-only rules for new videos and even work in order to make sure that this video is posted in a timely fashion. As a result of this, I might have to abandon that original plan, as YouTube demonetizations or no, people deserve to be informed when issues such as these surface, as they are actually crucial in some cases to end-user safety. The game on your screen now is called TERA. It is an MMO released originally in 2011 by Bluehole, the developers of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Bluehole finds themselves in a little bit of a pickle again this year, as it has been discovered that there is an extremely significant security vulnerability within TERA Online that affects quite literally everyone who loads into the game. This security vulnerability was first announced on the game's subreddit by a player who goes by the name BigShaft69, which, alright, sure, why not? Regardless of this person's chosen online moniker, the information provided by them is extremely interesting to say the least. This security vulnerability apparently surrounds TERA's in-game chat, which, while it uses HTML, a fairly common methodology in older games such as this HTML vulnerability will allow hackers and the like to do everything under the sun, including DDoSing other players based on their current IP, which can be obtained by mass whispering everyone on the server, send images to everyone on the server, or crash their game clients, and that's just involving the game. As this is an HTML vulnerability, it will allow hackers to execute code remotely on a player's computers, and this has already been tested and verified as being the case. What this means is that due to this vulnerability, hackers can now treat TERA Online as a one-stop shop to spread ransomware, inject keyloggers in order to perform data mining, remotely install viruses, basically anything they want. In addition to this exceptionally dangerous exploit, some TERA players have taken to calling the game itself malware, which, while inaccurate, is being met with a severe lockdown on the subject within the game's Discord server, where the moderators are stating the people should be notifying the publishers in Mass Entertainment directly and stating in no uncertain terms, quote, "You will be banned for bringing exploits up in this manner." And in a post on the En Masse forums, En Masse Entertainment had the following to say: "We were recently made aware of a potential vulnerability related to in-game chat. We learned about this the same way that many of you did, through our official Discord and a post made to the TERA subreddit yesterday, which was promptly removed by the moderators there. We greatly appreciate those community and player council members who took efforts to quickly report this to us. The developers of TERA were immediately made aware of the vulnerability, and they are exploring an appropriate course of action with the highest urgency. While they do so, the team at En Masse is continuing to investigate and assist the developers in any way possible. There are very serious claims floating around of what this vulnerability potentially allows malicious users to do. We are taking these claims very seriously, but as of this time, we have no evidence that the vulnerability is being exploited in these ways or that any player information has been compromised. Please remember that posting about third-party software, hacks, or exploits is against the forum rules. With your continued support, we can help prevent the spread of information that may aid users with malicious intent to exploit this or any other vulnerability or source tools that would facilitate it. If you have any information that may be valuable to our continued investigation of this, please PM our staff on the forums directly. We will provide further updates on this vulnerability once we have more information." The developers they mentioned, again, are Bluehole Entertainment, and while I can certainly understand their desire to not cause a community-wide panic, these publishers are again reinforcing that concept parroted on the game's Discord server that anyone discussing these exploits or what they can do to potentially protect themselves is something that I obviously take great exception to, as you might guess from the fact that I'm taking time out of my day job to make sure this information reaches as many people as possible. There are also statements floating around claiming that En Masse and Bluehole were potentially aware of this security vulnerability for as long as a full year and have yet to do anything about it. However, I have no way of really verifying that directly, and I can pretty much guarantee with absolute certainty that En Masse and Bluehole would deny it regardless, so take that bit of information with a very large, unverifiable grain of salt. Regardless of when they knew about the exploit, the fact is that it is known now. So what can you, as a player of TERA, do to protect yourself against these potential vulnerabilities? Well, first off, you do have to bear in mind that just because the vulnerability exists doesn't mean that you will necessarily be targeted. The chances are still somewhat slender. However, this is a very clear consumer advocacy issue. Your best bet is to lean on Bluehole and Nmap to put pressure on them to correct this vulnerability as quickly as possible. Also, your best bet for protection is to, of course, not log into the game, as much as I know that will pain some people to hear, and keep an eye out on the forums until the vulnerability is patched out. Another option is not one that I would necessarily recommend either, and that is the use of TerraProxy. Now, for those of you that are not aware, TerraProxy is a hack tool that allows people to modify certain aspects of their gameplay experience, basically an online cheat. This TerraProxy will, while not eliminating the vulnerability, does decrease the threat plane. However, since nobody likes a cheater, I really wouldn't recommend going that route. And this also does not set a good tone with Bluehole Entertainment, who are currently fighting what appears to be a losing battle with hackers on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and who announced a mere 10 hours ago that they were working on a new MMO titled Ascent Infinite Realm. I personally feel they should put down their shiny new toys and fix their broken ones first, but that's just a personal opinion. I will, of course, do my best to stay up to date on this issue, and if they bother to fix it, I will let everyone know when they do. But as always, please do let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you would like to stay up to date with my videos a day early, you can do so by supporting the channel on Patreon. Links are in the description below. And for those of you that wish to offer a one-time support, I do have a PayPal link down there as well, and I will be streaming on Saturdays and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you would like some extra recognition, we do have the $20 and Up Club, which guarantees a listing in the description of my videos. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Sid Alpha, and I'll see you next time.